I guess the counter argument to that, and I agree with everything you're saying as far as him being punished, he should not be allowed to use the drug, and it does give him an unfair advantage because he's making the weight unnaturally while his opponent has to make the weight naturally. All that I agree with, but where I think we disagree on respectfully is diuretics are very dangerous, and that's why in bodybuilding, that's the only drug in bodybuilding that is actually illegal. They allow them to take every other drug in the world, but they don't allow them to take diuretics for one reason and one reason only. Because when you're totally dry and depleted, and then you're trying to take a drug that's going to suck more water out of you, it's not going to give you an extra benefit in performance. Now, that's where I think there's a misconception about diuretics. Diuretics are extremely dangerous. Bodybuilders have died from diuretics because they tax their system so much, they cramp, they've taken strokes because of taking diuretics. So my argument, and I think it's a pretty logical argument, is a lot of these drugs are on the banned substance list, not just for performance enhancing purposes, but for danger purposes as well. Diuretics are nothing to play with. They can really hurt somebody. If you're taking a fighter that's already lean, that's already dried out, right? And then you're taking a diuretic on top of that, and you're going to try and deplete him even more. I mean, a depleted athlete is not going to perform at an optimal level. So that's where I think we have a disagreement. I agree with you that
we have a big disagreement about that, my man. We have a huge disagreement about that
because a diuretic is not anabolic. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but a diuretic is not an anabolic substance.
All right, we just disagree because I know what fighters got to go through to make weight, and if it allows you to lose weight at a faster pace, if it allows you to lose weight at a unnatural pace, and if it allows you to recover quicker,
that's where we disagree. That's where we disagree.
Okay, well, we disagree. Well, how about this? Why do you think these guys keep getting popped for diuretics? Because it's not making
because they're honestly, can I tell you why? Because you know as well as I do, a fighter will do anything to make weight, even compromise his health. Is that a fair statement?
Not in this case, because I'm going to tell you why. Because some of these guys at the top level, man, they got really, really good people around them where if they're cheating, they're microdosing, and you're doing it at a way where they know exactly how to beat the system. They know exactly what to do. They know exactly what to put in their body. And these guys got chemists around them. They are not doing this to make them weak. They are doing this to make them strong. There's certain things I just can't even say publicly, but you're more than wrong, my man. You have no idea some of the stuff that I've seen. You are so wrong.
But a diuretic is not one of those drugs I think gives a fighter an advantage.
But there are diuretics out here that allow you to cut weight unnaturally and recover quickly after the grueling workouts day in and day out.
That would be a fat burner. That would not. There's some drugs that are fat burners that will allow you to maintain lean muscle mass. Phetamine actually eats away at your muscle mass. It's not good to preserve. It's not a drug that you would take that's going to preserve lean muscle mass. So I agree with you. These drugs are giving these guys an unfair advantage in making weight. But you know as well as I do, just because a fighter makes weight, that doesn't mean he's going to perform optimally. That's the case.
You're being a wordsmith.
I'm just giving you the science. Giving you the science.
No, you're being a wordsmith because here's why you're being a wordsmith. I'm gonna tell you two reasons. Because you don't know if that's the only thing he was taking. A lot of times these guys combine PEDs. That's because the only one he got popped for, that don't mean that's the only thing he was taking, my man. So you're being a wordsmith. And here's the second thing. If you can be a naturally bigger human being and make an unnaturally low weight and then have over 24 hours to rehydrate your body and to go in the ring and at least get back to maybe 90% of what you were.
Won't get back to 90%. Won't get back to 90%. Not in 24 hours. Not in 24 hours. Mr. Edwards, let me ask you a question. Let's just be totally frank here.
It's more than 24 hours. You got about
36 hours. Even that, you need a good 72 hours to almost 5 days. But let me just say this. If you were to lose 25 pounds right now, if you were to lose 20,
the fighter after weigh-in?
Excuse me?
Do you have any fighters that you rehydrated after weigh-ins?
No, but I've actually been to weigh-ins and seen fighters faint at weigh-ins though because they were so depleted.
Well, let me just tell you this:
that were taking diuretics actually.
When a fighter makes weight, right? He's grouchy, he's upset. His response time is really, really low. Everything about him is like really like dead, right? And that next day, you think you're looking at a different person, and it's just naturally with salt water and different glucose and different things for his blood that make him feel better. So you're just off, man. You know about what you could do in 36 hours. It's a lot you could do in 36 hours. I'm not saying that every single fighter gets it back every single time because nothing is 100%. But the same guys that know how to microdose these guys and cycle them through, they know how to bring them back. They know how to to get a guy the best they can be in the next 36 hours by putting saline solutions in them and different things like that. You're just wrong about this, man. That dude, I don't want to say this, but you're just wrong. And I'm not going to be pointing the finger at Oscar Valdez because it's way more than him.
Let me change